Well deserved. It's Friday, so you know what that means. Let's welcome tonight's guests. He's got a mind for politics and a face for a Gerber jar. Host of The Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson. He's a reason to get up in the morning and change the channel. Fox and Friends first host, Todd Pyro. Her ideas carry more weight than her actual weight. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor, Cat Tube. And he uses manhole covers as frisbees. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, former WWE champion. All right, before we get to some news stories, let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. And as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll deep fry Joe Mackey's toes and serve them to the audience as corn dogs. In a break with tradition, CNN plans on airing commercials during the 2024 presidential debates. They also plan on choosing ads that cater to the current president. To court his left-wing base, President Biden is now promising to appoint more progressives to the Supreme Court. In fact, he's already got his first pick lined up. A skull. A skull attached to a 15-pound dumbbell was pulled out of a New Orleans waterway. Nancy Pelosi thanked the authorities for saving her life. The image works. After his guilty verdict yesterday, Donald Trump warned Joe Biden to, quote, buckle up, which, of course, is ridiculous. The only time Biden needs to buckle up is when he sits here. According to a new ranking, New York is one of the most mosquito-infested cities in the U.S. So be sure to run away if you see one of these bloodsuckers. Aerospace engineers have invented a special suit that can turn urine in your pants into drinkable water. They explain this as part of an effort to make sure President Biden stays hydrated.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be thirsty.
Yeah. Singer Lenny Kravitz revealed he's been celibate for 9 years. He said the key to keeping his sexual desire low was by looking at pictures of Lenny Kravitz. Madonna's tour has been hit with another lawsuit by a concert goer for unwanted exposure to sexual content. Madonna denied the claim, saying, that wasn't simulated sex, I was having a seizure. Feds are attempting to track down people seen in footage at P. Diddy Combs' mansion. Not that I'm worried, but I should remind you that there's some pretty realistic Greg Gutfeld costumes out there. A white Canadian man has been roundly condemned for traveling in blackface in order to write a book. The backlash is so severe, he might lose his job as prime minister. That's Trudeau. North Korea is being accused of sending balloons filled with feces into South Korea, or as what we call the San Francisco treat. Boeing's Starliner is set to launch its first crewed flight into space on Saturday. Good luck, said the Iranian helicopter.
Oh.
I don't know. A new study found that crows can count out loud, making them really irritating at the gym. It's funny because they don't really lift weights. And finally, a little smattering of applause. Finally, a man who spent 14 grand to transform into a collie has changed his mind after realizing it's hard to walk. Dude, spending 14 grand just to get your balls licked? Just buy a jar of peanut butter. I don't know what that means. I have no idea why you're clapping for that. All right. With the New York verdict in, don't let the bastards win. It's time for...
Greg's Pep Talk.
All right. Well, there's nothing like dramatic events to put your life in focus. So what's next for Trump or the Republican Party? Or more important, what's next for you? Anger and frustration are only negatives if you don't channel it into constructive energy. Focus toward having a good day, because a good day is the beginning to a good life. Because their real goal isn't just about taking down Trump, it's taking down you. And only you can take down you. So don't. And you start by having a good day. You can do that and still be pissed, but you can even have a better day if you have a clear mind and turn all that piss into power. Not literally. If that were possible, New York could light the Empire State Building with street urine. But make no mistake, something is afoot, and it can be discouraging and overwhelming. But that's the goal, to overwhelm and discourage you. But that can't happen if you don't let it. They made the mistake of giving us no option but to fight. So the next couple of months are going to be a challenge, and it's easy to retreat into various habits that burn time and brain cells, like endless scrolling, arguing in the comments section, or staring at a media that turns your mind to mush. This might be the fight of our lives, of your life. And what do prize fighters do when they're facing the bout of their lives? They get in shape. They train. They knock off the bad habits. They get up early. They even go without sex for weeks, though sometimes that's not by choice. But they don't make it easier for others to beat them by beating themselves first. See, I knew this was going to be that kind of year. I could see it coming. So what did I do? I quit drinking. I didn't want to start every morning with sandbags tied to my ankles. I wanted to get up and fight. And I got tired of being so weak, even Tyrus could take me.
You sure you're not still drinking?
But a hangover helps those who want to hurt you. Why would you let them have that weapon? So my advice, get in fighting shape. And you can start by getting stronger mentally and physically. You can look at what matters around you. One of the aims of the Trump trials is to push everything else that matters off your screen. Suddenly, crime, immigration, and inflation fade into the ether. The things that matter to your family become background noise. While the left crows about 34 convictions, you're wondering why it costs $34 to buy milk, bread, and eggs. Fact is, the left isn't celebrating because criminals stopped criminalizing, inflation stopped rising, or the border got fixed. Bad things will continue to happen because to them, those bad things don't matter. Keep your eye on that. But most of all, keep an eye on yourself and your family, your friends, because we're entering the third act of a very important movie. And like any movie where it looks like the good guys are in trouble, the protagonists don't give in, retreat, or run off to a bar. They stand up and fight. And the fight begins with you. You are the protagonist in this movie, and only you can triumph. The challenge is there for a reason, and the reason is to test you, to see what you're made of. In some cases, you might not like what you find, but you must persevere. So ask yourself, what are you made of? Strong stuff, or even stronger stuff than you can imagine? Why not find out together? All right! Guy Benson, I was on X last night, and I saw you post an upside-down flag. First, I was wondering, where do you buy upside-down flags?
Well, you buy the flag, Greg.
Uh-huh.
And then you fly it upside down.
No wonder. I was looking for an upside-down flag store.
Can I just say, I needed that pep talk.
Thank you.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
And the most important takeaway for me from your pep talk was I shouldn't take it personally that you always turn down drinks with me because you quit drinking. A fact I did not know until just now. And I'm feeling much better about myself.
Oh, see? I just work one person at a time. You already feel better. Do you have any encouraging words for the viewers at home or here?
I think you've pretty much done it there, because the upside down flag that you referenced, the reason I posted, some people were like, oh, is this a Trump martyr thing? No, I think we're in a really dark place as a country, and that's for various reasons, and I don't really see a hopeful path for it getting better anytime soon, because when you have a leading contender for the presidency convicted, I think, in this sham sort of way of all these felonies, if he loses, almost half the country is going to believe it was ripped away from him unfairly.
Right.
If he wins, the other half is going to say, well, we're shot as a country. We just elected a felon. I think it's really bad for our civic health, which was kind of already on life support.
Yes.
For the jury to have come down with this verdict, but that's what they've done. And now I'm just going to try to focus on your number one piece of advice, which is to have a good day.
Have a good day. It's
Yeah.
the basis for everything. Todd, as the whitest man in America.
Even with Guy here?
Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Whoa. Watch it, okay? You're lucky your mama's in the crowd. Okay, number one. Number two, Guy has street credit. So just watch it.
Thank you.
I got you.
Could we have a white off one day?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we have to bring in Will Kane, though, too.
Yes. And it has to be on March 28th,
Wait, and Jesse
National
Waters.
Caucasian Day. You know that, right?
I get the day off. I love it.
Right.
Do you have any pep talks for your friends at the country club?
A, I don't belong to a country, but I do have a pep talk, and here it is. Right now, I think so many of the people that are watching this program that saw what happened to the guy they want to vote for feel frustrated, and they feel like they don't have any control. But I think they're wrong. There are ways that they have control. They can donate. We saw a lot of people donating. If you want to feel like you have some power, give some money. Second, if you really believe in the candidate, Donald J. Trump, go out there and convince 10 members of your friends and family, especially in swing states, why you think he should be president. Convince them, get them to vote your way through reasoned logic. And then third, you can volunteer for a campaign. You have the benefit of time. You can utilize that time, especially if you're a lawyer. Contact your local party, get to a polling station, and provide your legal knowledge for democracy, the big D that the Democrats always love to espouse. Also, another positive that I think you can take away, look how this has united the Republican Party. Ron DeSantis is like, hey, I'm going to raise $10 million in Florida. The Democrats are so divided, they have lost Kennedys. You have to think about that. They've actually lost Kennedys. What would help if Nikki Haley said, hey, I'm not only voting for Trump, I want you to bring your supporters, my supporters, to Trump. Supporters, I want you to vote for this man. And then third, to your movie point, the bully never wins in a movie in the end. It's always the protagonist.
That's true. That's true. So the Democrats are losing Kennedys. Usually it's the Kennedys who lose Kennedys.
I saw you write that.
By the way, you put in there the words polling station, and I think that's interesting, volunteering at polling stations. You know, I don't know how hard that is to do, but that's something people should really be thinking about, because we know what the Democrats are capable of. Kat, you're an optimist, a positive person. No one has ever said. But do you have a pep talk?
No, I feel like I think I can find joy in things. And I think that there's always an opportunity to find connection and joy with the people around you. I actually want to share with everybody watching at home something that brought me joy within the past couple minutes that you won't be able to see unless you were here, which is when you made the joke about Lenny Kravitz being celibate for 9 years. I looked over and Todd had his head down because he thought the camera was going to come to him.
I thought that one was coming to me. I was ready. I had a whole thing, and that was like, oh,
and then
he's
didn't.
making fun of the singer.
And then you thought you were good. And then in the monologue, he said you were a sexless loser another way.
And a lot of emotions.
If you were at home, you wouldn't get to see that. But there's little things like that. If you look.
The punchline of the joke, though, is that Lenny Kravitz is bad looking. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, he's not bad looking.
That's false.
Well, to be fair, the reason why he stopped having sex was because every time he'd be in the mirror, he'd fall in love, and everything else was just not worth it. I've gone through the same phase where it's like, I'm sorry, you're not this, and I feel like I'm cheating myself. So I get it. It's a light-skinned thing. We're beautiful. I get it. And you just get to a point where, like me, Prince, Lenny, Milli Vanilli, we just get to a point where, like, no one else is getting this. This is all me.
Excuse me, Harold Ford Jr.
Harold Ford Jr. But Harold didn't bake as long. He's a little bit more pastier. But he's still, like, he's a solid C+. And I love Harold. But I'm talking about the beautiful light-skinned brothers.
All right, pep
Lenny
talk,
and myself.
Tyrus, come on. You're
I just gave myself one.
You're a coach. You've coached people.
Yes, I have. And I'm not coaching through this.
No?
Listen, assume the worst, which I did. I said he would get convicted on all 34 because no one goes to this much trouble because the Democrats are horrible villains. Leave the villain stuff to us. We're good at it. We focus on terrorists and we don't focus on feelings and stuff, which was just a trial of feelings. We all found out that nobody likes President Trump in New York, except people who come here to get paid and go home to a different state. But we don't need a pep talk because we follow the rules. Conservatives follow the rules. How many stories of Alabama car burnings did we see this morning? How many upside down flag marches through malls and little tiny red MAGA hats stealing purses and shoes and saying the system's rigged? No, not one, not one. So I gave a pep talk last night. Well done, America. Well, you guys listened well. Because this is the one group we're used to getting on. We're used to blowing leads. Like, take it from a Celtic fan, Red Sox fan. This is conservatives. We do what we do because unlike any other group, we got to work. We got to keep the roads going in this country. We got to keep the lights on in this country. So we don't have time to protest and tear up. We don't need a pep talk. We're good. Even when they stack 134 years on them, which he will, just so the judge can say it, we're going to be just fine.
All right. Before we go, a quick announcement. I'm going to go on tour this summer. Come see me live with special guest Tom Shillue. He's also white. I'll be in Red Bank, New Jersey. That's next week. Tickets are running out. Fort Lauderdale and,
Get out.
Durham, North Carolina. Go to ggutfeld.com for ticket info.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.